Hello, this is Jake for my public speaking course, Persuasive Speech. Pardon the lack of formal attire because today we're talking about fitness, so I got to stay nimble for the visual aid we're using. Back in high school, in a youth and government program, after passing a couple bills, get a small accolade, and a classmate said to me, they said, "Well, Jake, congratulations, good job." And I said, "You know what? This was an award that was won in the weight room." And while of course that was a young guy making a joke about the fitness, relating to everything that happens, maybe there's a little more truth perhaps to the statement than would first meet the eye, given many of the benefits that resistance training can have, irrespective of someone's age, goals, gender, or any other reason that people sometimes have a hesitance to incorporate resistance training into their routine. People have many reasons, but today I'd like to engage in a conversation about some of the benefits that it does have. So, the kind of what I would call mindset benefits that first come to mind would be people have goals about clothes fitting a certain way, or they want to look good. You can feel excellent after a workout if you think about the endorphin rush. There is a great opportunity, of course, do it safely, to spend time with other folks, to make new friends, with fitness being the common hobby, and that can be done with any type of fitness activity. I've personally experienced it in the weights community, and you can too. There's the idea of posture. So if I'm, performing exercises and making sure my positioning is well, perhaps I would be better empowered to do that through the rest of the day. Plus, you got the core strength. So the other one that goes sort of into this mindset is understanding the weaknesses of the body, right? So whenever folks separate themselves from the goal of peak strength or unbelievable size, they will discard the weights field in general. However, back when I was doing some personal training, the way the curriculum works is at the beginning of your time with a client, you need to uncover any pre-existing injuries, any postural issues, different tightnesses in muscle groups that can affect your daily functioning and long-term lead to certain injuries. And those factors are corrected prior to any serious engagement with the heavy weights. That's kind of the reasoning behind why they say that you ought to consult a doctor before engaging in exercise. That's for sort of some of the internal stuff and veins, things like that. But then with the trainer, you say, oh well, if your hips, if you've got the sway back posture, then you're going to have a problem, and so you correct that. That's a sort of ultimate goal of everybody, is to kind of feel good and be functional in their body every day. And those are things that are really not only discovered but worked on and improved with when the weight training goes into play. Now, as we age, this gets especially important because while one person may be training to play soccer, perhaps somebody who has aged more than our first person needs to have the stability to walk properly, needs to be able to open doors without having folks help them out, to move household items around. So when you hear about people recovering from injuries and things like that, they'll do occupational therapy to learn those tasks. By strengthening your body, you can decrease the need for outside assistance or for having to intentionally work on something, and this is serious, like getting out of chairs. That can be a tough one for people. And so the universality of kind of what the resistance can provide is pretty intense. So now the long-term benefits. While we're on the aging topic, there was a Canadian Institutes of Health study that discussed a improvement of cognitive function among senior citizens who did work out with weights and who did incorporate strength training. So beyond just the long-term benefits that are similar to some other physical activities, as far as the cardiovascular, your heart's stronger, your circulation can improve, a lot of those kind of internal long-term disease predictive metrics. Insulin sensitivity is one. Seniors are helping their brains, and I was not able to locate a study that argues the same for young people, but maybe that was why I was thinking about the weight room after winning that award that I talked about at the beginning. And so, outstanding statesman. The cardiovascular topic, I don't take notes, I go off memory. One's ability to successfully execute cardiovascular exercise is also going to be helped by your presence in the weight room. How is that? Well, in addition to there being a cardiovascular improvement that can take place just from the exercise itself, one can also physically be in a better condition to perform even better cardiovascular activities and therefore burn more calories if they have isolated those weak points, if they've learned about, stretching and tightnesses and things like that. And consider a bicyclist. If somebody's going to be a beginning cyclist, I personally found I was very much benefited by the fact that there was some squatting and deadlifting that was in the background. And so even if there isn't a level of direct compatibility that's immediately apparent, further thought makes the link very simple between a lot of different other sports along with the weight training. On that aging topic, when we're talking about getting past age 50, age 60, let's talk about two other aspects beyond just the, executing daily tasks without help. Let's talk about safety here. So, resistance from falling, building balance under loads and weights and things like that. These are incredibly serious factors as far as making sure that, if someone has to support themselves with their hands, that they're going to decrease the probability of really serious problems that can result from falling and things like that. Now, if your safety concern is not as sort of immediate or apparent, let's take that one a step further as far as the unpredictabilities that life can give you. Whether it is, getting up from a fall, being injury resistant, or having to engage in some type of, conflict, or you have to lift something off of somebody. No matter how intentionally we may try to avoid these things, situations happen. You may have to change the tire. So there's a general preparedness and confidence that can be greatly enhanced if you've already, lifted something that weighs twice as much as the boulder that's on, whoever you have to rescue. So that, that point can be overplayed a little bit. However, between the mental benefits and the strength, it is very tough to make some type of argument that you would be less prepared. I hope this has been helpful and informative and encourages people to look past some of the stereotypes, not only of, the concept of resistance training, but also stereotypes that, apply to us. I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too big, I'm too small. This doesn't relate to me because I don't, I've never worked out before, things like that. It's for all ages, all experience levels, a 99% of goals. And so as just a last visual aid here, and again, pardon the lack of formal attire, hopefully this will make up for it. Given the, everybody in their projects and speeches has to have a COVID-19 caveat, right? So I was able to purchase a barbell and some plates recently as part of my kind of no excuse mentality with regard to some of my personal goals in the gym. And so these are 45 bars, so we're going to be cleaning 135 for a couple of reps because everybody loves working out at home nowadays. Oh, I left the clips in the car. This is the first time doing it, by the way. We'll see what the neighbors think. Thank you for watching, folks, and hope you are able to have a great workout this week.